Yo, JD here, and we're back with another 2018 F1 2018 video here today. And this time it's going to be the Ferrari around Canada, Montreal, which we just had in real life F1. And I've been playing the beta quite a bit myself for the past few hours or so I can give you a little bit more insight into just how it feels, really, unless I'm asked to take this video down. If I am, so be it. But just to basically just give an insight of how it feels, because I feel I've got up to quite a reasonable pace using the wheel only at the moment. I have not used a controller, and so far it feels really nice on the wheel. And this is Lee Mayfer actually playing. I saw the comments in my previous video, but I don't think he really plays in the controller at all, and I think it's very difficult to have an interview on IGN on E3 and play at the same time. So on the controller for this, as you can see by the inputs, but in a Ferrari and with the removable, I think it's been removed, the middle pillar of that halo. It looks like it has anyway. So the whole halo cannot be removed itself, but just the middle pillar can be removed. And I think for some people that'd be really beneficial. For me personally, I don't really mind it at all, even from a TV pod perspective. I don't think it looks too bad at all. Obviously in real life I'd prefer if they didn't have it, but on the game I know they have to include it. It's not a game changer really for me, like it might be for some people. And in terms of the handling, how it feels, I feel personally it feels really similar to 2017 in a way. At the moment it's a lot quicker, which we may have seen by some other people's gameplay. It feels a lot quicker, a lot more grip, a lot more downforce, but touching the curbs you do not want to do. If you touch a slight curb at all, then you're pretty much going to spin off into the wall. So you have to be a lot more delicate in terms of the actual steering inputs. I know as the stream has gone crazy here. I don't think that's my video. I think there's a stream doing that. And also apologies as well. You can see in the top left, it's probably Soap Sim Racer, and when I downloaded this I actually thought it was from the stream, but it was actually from his channel, so apologies from that. But it is the stream footage, it's not his footage, it is from the stream, so it's free to download, but apologies anyway. But moving back to the handling, I'd say you just have to be a lot more delicate on trail braking, which is where you're braking at 100%, slowly releasing the brakes to avoid locking up, and then it allows the car to rotate, because if you keep your foot on the brake and lock up, you won't be able to turn the car won't change direction. So mastering the art of trail braking, which will be doing a video on soon actually, with the pedal cam, I think is going to be very important for this game. And also the traction is going to be very important. I think if you're smoother you are, the better exit you're going to have, whereas I think on 2017 I think there are cases where you can stamp on the throttle, spin up the wheels and just short shift, and it will not really penalise you that much. It may wear out your tyres a bit more, but in terms of lap time it's not really going to penalise you that much, where in this game if you spin up your tyres too much, from what I've played, it really does cost you in lap time. It can cost you up to more than 2 tenths on the exit of a corner, so it's really important to get your racing line right and get a good exit as well. And I'm really having fun with how it feels. It is a very satisfying, very difficult to hook up a lap as well, which is what you want, which also leads me on to the other difficulty as well, which we mentioned in my previous video, is the ERS and the fuel mixtures. So you've got fuel mixtures of 1 to 4, so yeah, so what is it, lean, medium, rich, lean, standard, medium, if I can actually talk properly, so it's lean, standard, rich, max. Wow, we eventually got that out, but that's the fuel mixtures, which is just the same. And then you've got 5 settings for the ERS. So basically, you add those together, you got 9 things you'll be changing throughout a lap, and believe me, you'll be changing it constantly throughout corners, because the ERS gives you a huge boost, and it's going to be very strategic in this game, as I said in my Red Bull video. The links to that and the cockpit video are down in the description below, but it's going to be very strategic. And I used to, on 2012, I used to save fuel all the way to the end of the race. So when I did in leagues, I used to be a fair bit slower than everyone in the first stint, losing half a second or so a lap. But they would use all their fuel, and then in the last 20 laps, because I used to do 100% league, I used to be quickest by like a second or 2 seconds per lap, and you can make up a lot of time doing that, and once you overtake someone, that is it. So it's going to be similar on this. I think you really want to be saving it as much as possible, but I would say from not using ERS at all to using it overtake mode, so the highest mode is overtake, you'll be losing almost a second a lap. I'd say it's that big of an impact. And combining that with rich, if you ran lean and no overtake compared to max, obviously in qualifying setting, max and then overtake mode, I'd say it could even be 2 seconds from what I know. It's something I need to test a bit more, but I'd say that's how big of a difference it actually is. So you really gotta just focus on all the elements really, and it's very frustrating because you kind of lose the edge of your actual driving. You don't really focus on your driving anymore at all, but I guess this is more realistic because in real life they're constantly changing things. So you gotta be driving, you gotta be a top level driver as well as a top level strategist as well at the same time with your car setup and everything as well. And so far 2017 setups are not really working for me at all, to be honest. That's all I can say at the moment, which is good. I think that's a good thing. But I think it's going to be a very, very big part in terms of your strategy and how you set up your car. And if you're a top level driver, top level pilot, it's really, really going to exaggerate quite a bit. And we've got wet gameplay here as well, which I just did on the beta. So you're able to do that. And it feels very, very nice under braking. This game is quite forgiving under braking, I think. I think it could possibly be made a bit harder. You do lock up still, but it's quite difficult to lock up for me. But the traction, I feel, is spot on. You can lose it quite easily through the corners. You can correct it quite nicely with the wheel. You really do feel on the edge. You really got to find that sweet spot when you actually go on the traction. But in the wet, it's very difficult on traction. Much harder than 2017, I feel. Much, much harder than 2017. But the braking, I would say, is probably on the same level, if not a little bit easier. But the steering, very, very light. You have to up the force feedback, but very, very light. You really have to be super precise, super smooth. If you're that, and you managing the ERS and the fuel properly, you could be gaining a ton of time. And I think that's really is what's going to separate the best drivers, is who can they can drive the best, obviously, but also how they manage their ERS. If you have a top level pilot who can't say fuel properly or can't manage the ERS at all, runs out of battery, you're going to be giving away 2 seconds a lap. It doesn't matter how good you are, you're going to be giving away so much time on this game. So I'm really, really enjoying it so far. I'm really enjoying seeing this gameplay. As you can see, wet gameplay with the TV pod with a Ferrari, which I feel personally looks really, really good. I think the weather, the only thing I'd say maybe in the spray is a little bit too much in the spray, I'd say, but obviously these things can be adjusted and obviously put on the beta forums, which people are doing, which is really great to see. Good feedback. But the game, I feel it looks really good at the moment. Obviously, still in its beta stages, so it's still got time for improvements, everything like that. But I feel it looks really, really good. So let me know what you think of this gameplay, the Ferrari and the TV pod and the cockpit cam. I think it looks really nice. Let me know what you think of the game, what you're hoping to expect. Hope you're enjoying this video. Just thought I'd showcase it to you guys. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you next time. Peace.